and welcome to today's episode of the Stabilization Academy show. We need to have a serious conversation about something that's affecting not just our feet, but our overall health. Shoes. Yes, shoes. The very thing we wear every single day is, quite frankly, killing our feet. And it's about time we call it out, especially as health professionals. Why are we cramming our feet and expecting our clients to cram their feet into ill-fitting, restrictive shoes that completely ignore the natural function of our feet? The answer is simple. Money. Big brands care more about selling the latest trend than designing shoes that respect the human foot. And let's not forget about fashion, because apparently looking good is worth ruining your feet. So let's break this down one toe at a time. Let's start with some hard truths. Today's shoes are designed for aesthetics, not function. Pointed toe boxes squeeze the toes together, compromising their ability to spread and stabilize. High heels lift weight unnaturally onto the forefoot, wreaking havoc on the arch and metatarsals. And even the so-called comfy shoes with tons of cushioning don't let the foot function naturally. And we're talking about proprioception here, which is very, very important for balance and stability in falls. And these guys, they weaken muscles and reduce sensory input. Feet are meant to move, adapt, and feel the ground beneath them. This is about athletic shoes as well, running shoes and trainers. But when we jam them into rigid or narrow shoes, we're essentially disabling them. Now, these things lead to a cascade of problems. Bunions, hammer toes, arch pain, and gait abnormalities. And all because we've forgotten what feet are designed to do. Now, I'll give you a classic example. My stepdaughter, bless her, constantly complains about sore feet. Her heels hurt, her toes feel squished, she's always limping around, and she always has an ingrown infected toenail. But when I suggested switching to something more functional, like a natural shaped shoe, her response is always the same. Ooh, I don't like the look of that. Ooh, it looks too big. Ooh, it's not really fashionable. So this obsession with how shoes look, or the color of them even, rather than how they feel or function, is literally ruining feet everywhere. And it's just not her. It's a social issue. People spend billions on shoes and fashion every year, while health and foot health are literally an afterthought. Shoes have become more about making a statement rather than supporting the human body. Now let's take a moment to appreciate what feet actually do. Your feet are a foundation. They're responsible for absorbing shock, stabilizing your entire body, and propelling you forward. And they are literally responsible for the timing of everything else that happens further up the body, because the foot and the hip work together. They work in synergy. Your toes play a crucial role in balance and push off during gait. But when you cram them into shoes that force them into doing unnatural positions, you're stripping away their ability to do their job. Shoes with narrow toe boxes deform the toes over time. And look at the comparison. And this is the same shoe size, but with a natural shoe shape. Now, these shoes with narrow toe boxes lead to issues like bunions and loss of toe strength. You need the toes to separate before the heel even hits the ground, and that is the first shock-absorbing dampening ability of the foot. And you need these toes to be spread. And when you go to propel and push off, you need that big toe to be straight, because that allows posterior movement of the pelvis so the pelvic floor can be in alignment, and also aids in hip extension. When you look at cushion soles, when you have lots of cushioning, they dampen sensory feedback, which is also essential for balance and stability. And let's not even get started on high heels. They completely distort the natural mechanics of the foot. Now here's the kicker. This isn't about ignorance. The shoe industry knows their designs are harming our feet, even the ones that are designed by podiatrists. But they also know that comfort and function don't sell as well as beauty and fashion. It's really about the almighty dollar. Every year, millions are spent marketing shoes that look good but do nothing for our health. Meanwhile, the footwear that actually respects the anatomy and function of the foot, like naturally shaped shoes, barefoot shoes with or without cushioning, and even minimalistic shoes, is sidelined because it doesn't fit the aesthetic mold. The barefoot natural shoes aren't for everybody, but they are for most. So what can we do about this? Start by choosing shoes that align with how your feet are meant to function. Look for wide toe natural shoe boxes, flexible soles when can be tolerated, and minimal cushioning. If you're worried about fashion, remember that health should come first, because what's the point in looking good if your feet are in constant pain? Encourage your clients, friends, and family to make the switch too. It might take time to adapt, especially if they've been wearing restrictive shoes for years, but the long-term benefits are worth it. In January, I am hosting a free webinar, which is Foot and Ankle Rehab Essentials for Health and Movement Professionals. This is where you can master modern rehab practices to build expertise and confidence to become a trusted authority in your field. As health professionals, we have a responsibility to do this. And that's it for today's episode. Shoes are killing our feet, and it's time we start prioritizing function over fashion. Let's change the way we think about footwear. More importantly, educate others to do the same. And speaking of education, don't forget that the Functional Gait and Movement Pro Series with the lower extremity as the main focus course is launching in January. And this is your chance to learn how to assess and train gait and movement in a way that truly respects foot function. Until next time, let's keep moving, barefoot or otherwise.